Hey guys, welcome to the video today. So today's Workshop Wednesday video is all about habits, but not in the way that I normally talk about it. Normally when I'm speaking to habits, we're talking about breaking up with bad habits, with habits that aren't serving us. But today I want to dive into how do you create a new habit, like from scratch, something that you want to become a habit that you don't currently have. How do you create that, and how do you make sure that it sticks, that it lasts, okay? So habits are important because our brain likes to sort of automate a bunch of things that we do so that we don't have to take so much of our brain energy and attention and put it into every single task that we do. So it's something that our brain just does automatically, whether you like it or not. It does serve us well in a lot of areas, but sometimes it can not serve us well when we're talking about, kind of collecting some bad habits. But our brain will just do this automatically. Things that you do over and over again will become a habit. They're sort of on autopilot. You won't be thinking about them so much. It won't take so much energy to think about it. And the more that you do that habit, the harder it is to sort of do something else and steer away from that and go into a different direction. And that is because we are grooving these different pathways in our brain when we have a habit. I like to think of it like you are walking through a field, and the first time you walk through a field, the grass is tall everywhere, and you could sort of take any direction that you want to go because they're all the same, right? But then the next time you do it, if you walk in the same path over and over again, over a few days, that path becomes more obvious, right? The grass is sort of matted down in that area, or maybe it's worn away completely, and that one path becomes the obvious path to take. That's like what happens in our brain when we form habits. So in the beginning, it's not easy to do, and then it gets a little bit easier over time, and then it becomes really so easy that doing anything else becomes hard. I posted yesterday a quick little static post on Instagram and Facebook that spoke to this just a little bit, talking about how people will say, like, well, how do you know that you've established a habit? How do you know when it is a habit? And here's how you know it is. It's not 21 days, or some new research came out that it was 66 days. There's no magic number for when something becomes a habit. If anyone's trying to tell you that there's a certain amount of days, don't listen to them. That's not true. Different habits take different lengths of time, and it takes different lengths of time for different people as well. So there's a lot of variables there. We all like to think that there are these magic numbers and things, but the truth is it's usually more of a gray zone or some variety there. But you will know when something has become a habit for you when it becomes stranger to not do that thing than it does to do that thing. So let's say most people, when they talk to me about habits, wanting to create new ones, they're talking about wanting to start an exercise routine. That's the one that I hear the most. And so when not exercising would actually feel stranger to you than exercising, it would be harder to not exercise than it would be to exercise. That's when you know it's become a habit. Not to say that you're not going to have days where you're not motivated to do it, that you just want to stay in bed and all that stuff. No. But if you start feeling like a nagging, like a tugging because, oh man, I haven't worked out in a couple of days, it just feels weird, it feels wrong, that's when you know you've established that habit. So it does take some time for people. The thing about habits is that a lot of times we want to just jump into sort of like our perfect habit. Like we want to go from 0 to 60 and that's it. And we don't think about the fact that it's not that simple. We have to first establish the thing as a habit before we can improve it. You have to establish a habit before you can actually improve that habit or optimize that habit. So you wouldn't go, for example, from not working at all to working out 4 days a week for an hour. That wouldn't be a recipe for something that's going to stick. When you're talking about lasting change, because sure, people can do these things, they jump on the bandwagon, they jump off the bandwagon, right? There are a million coaches out there that can help you with the on the bandwagon, off the bandwagon stuff. That's not the stuff that I do with my clients. The stuff that I do with my clients is lasting, sustainable, lifetime changes, okay? Which, again, people talk about things being sustainable and lifetime changes, but I don't think a lot of people are actually doing the work that is required to make it a lifetime sustainable change. And what you need to do first is establish the habit. Once it's a habit, you can start to tweak it, optimize it, improve it from that point. So also, the other thing I want to mention is the way that you do this is you have small habits and you layer them on top of each other, because that has like this compounding effect. It's incredible. Not only do you start to see results and then you've got another habit, another one, and you're layering them, so you're getting all of these compounded results, but the mindset and the confidence that you get from creating a small habit and sticking to it is massive. That is the thing that actually will change you and help you in the future, is the idea that you can believe in yourself, that you can set a goal and stick to it, that you are improving. A lot of happiness research and research in joy. This is actually like a real thing that people study, which is incredible. But it shows that it's not the results that actually make people happy. And I know right now you're probably like, yeah, whatever, Tara. I'll be happy when I get to where I want to get. That's not the part that makes people the happiest. The part that makes people the happiest is that they feel like they're progressing, that they feel so hopeful that they actually have some power, some control over their own environment, their own body, their own health, that they can make these changes and improve themselves over time. So it's the progress and the, what's the word? Like the hope of progress, like the idea that tomorrow will bring even more progress, and after that it'll be even more progress. That is what makes people happy and joyful and committed, motivated. That's what creates momentum and all of these things. Okay, so little habits layered on top of each other, that's the way to go. So what I want to share with you today is 4 parts of creating a new habit, sort of breaking down the habits into 4 different parts, and then I'm going to take you through an example of what that would look like when you're trying to build a new habit. Now, these things can also work. You can do the reverse of them if you're trying to break a bad habit. You could sort of just do the inverse of what I'm telling you today. But if you are looking to break up with a habit that you're not interested in, let me know in the comments, because I have lots of previous videos and things that I've done on that. So I'm happy to share links with you on me speaking specifically about breaking up with old habits. This one today is more specifically for creating new habits from scratch. Okay, so the first part of a habit is that you've got your cue. Okay, so it's something, it could be a time of day, it could be a place that you are, it could be people that you're with, but there is some sort of a cue that, hi Rachel, you say I am, you're trying to break up with old habits, bad habits? Let me know. And then if that's the case, then after the video, I will share some links with you. So the first one is that you have a cue, right? So your cue could be that, let's see, if you're trying to create a new habit, your cue could be that you wake up in the morning and you want that to be your cue for working out, if you want to get your workout done first thing in the morning, okay? Part 2 is that you have a craving. So you start thinking about what that thing could actually do for you. So you might feel like we do this a lot of times with food. Like if you see donuts across the room and you walk across the room for the donut, it wasn't the taste of the donut that got you there. It was the anticipation of the taste of the donut that got you there to grab the donut. Do you know what I mean? So the craving is actually us like foreshadowing what we think that thing is going to do for us. So you've got a cue, you've got a craving. The third thing is the activity. That's the actual thing. That's the habit that you're trying to create. So that would be, the exercise routine. And the fourth part is the reward. So the reward is, what you get out of it. The thing is, we won't repeat a behavior if it's not actually bringing us some sort of reward. And our bad habits, sometimes we have trouble, like what kind of a reward is this bringing us? But it's bringing you some sort of a reward. It's sort of like when if you have kids or little kids, sometimes they will, act out or something, and there's always a reason for their behavior. And the reason could be that they, first of all, just don't know how to control their big emotions. That could be a reason. But another big reason that they're looking for attention. And so they'd rather get some attention than no attention, even if it's negative attention. Okay, so for a lot of us, we can think about that in terms of our kids, right? Like every action has a reason behind it. If it's repeatable, if you try something out for the first time and everything about it sucks, there's no reward whatsoever, you won't do that thing like ever again. But if there is some sort of a habit that's formed, good or bad, there's been a reward. There's a reason you keep coming back and doing it. Before it grooves that path in your brain, before it becomes that habit, there was a reward that made you come back and do it again and again and again. Rachel says yes. Okay, Rachel, I will drop those links in after the video is done. Okay, so you've got a cue, a craving, an activity, and then a reward at the end of that. So number one, when you're trying to create a new habit, for the cue, you want to make it really obvious, okay? On the flip side, if you were trying to break up with an old habit, you would want to sort of hide that. So again, if it's the donuts, you would want to like put them away so you don't see them so much. If it's the workout, you're going to want to schedule it into your day. If you're trying to create a new habit with the workout, you want to, schedule out some time for it. You want to set your alarm. You want to lay out your workout clothes. So you want to really make it obvious that it's in your schedule, the alarm goes off, your clothes are laid out, it's obvious. This is what you have told yourself that you're going to do at 6 a.m. or whatever, okay? So you make it really obvious, not hidden, but super obvious because this is something that you're looking to start to do. The second part in speaking to the craving is that you want to make it appealing. Okay, so for some people, they like to meet a friend to work out because when the bed is really warm and comfy and they just want to stay under the covers and they only have to be accountable to themselves, you're going to be more likely to skip the workout, aren't you? But if you had a friend that you're going to go meet up with or a trainer, a class that you're going to take, something where somebody's actually counting on you being there, that's a great way to start when the habit hasn't been established yet. So when you're looking to establish the habit, you need to sort of get some momentum going. You can walk with a friend, do something like that where somebody else is waiting for you because that's going to be more appealing for you to go and meet up with them. The third part is the activity. And here's where a lot of people go wrong. They try to do something grandiose out of the gate, but you need to make it really easy, really quick even, really manageable, but consistent. So rather than saying, I'm going to work out for 60 minutes, 4 days a week, you're not going to build a habit that way. But if you say, I'm going to work out for 5 minutes every day this week, you're a lot more likely to establish a habit from that point. So it needs to be something that's consistent but easy. So easy, in fact, that it feels ridiculous that you want to roll your eyes at it. When you're like, oh my gosh, that is so easy. Like, of course I can do that even on my busiest days, even on my hardest days. That's what you want, okay? Because you're not looking to create a habit only on your most amazing days, right? Because unfortunately, we don't normally have all of our days be amazing, right? We have hard days, we have easier days, we have tough days, we have emotional days, we have days when we're on our period, we have days when we've got an injury that we're nursing, we have days that we hardly had any sleep, we have days that our kids are sick or we're sick, right? The truth is that a lot of our days can be looked at that are harder than average. And so if what you're doing is trying to establish a habit that will actually only work on the days that everything goes smoothly, you're not going to create a habit at all. But if your goal is to have some sort of a sustainable lifelong habit, then you need to sort of be flexible. Some days you might get that 1 hour workout in, but some days you might get like a 6-minute high intensity workout or a 15-minute walk or whatever. But the whole point is that you're doing it consistently because that's it's going to build up the habit, right? That's going to be that path that you're grooving in your brain that's going to make it that much easier to do the exercise than to not do the exercise. It'll feel weird to not exercise, and that's the point that you're trying to get to if you're looking to create an exercise habit. So you want it to be easy, quick, very doable, okay? I have literally had clients start with 60 seconds of exercise, okay? Because that time when your brain is going to throw all kinds of excuses at you. Your brain doesn't like to change. That feels threatening to your brain, okay? So be prepared. You're going to get all the excuses in the world, but just know that that's what's going on. Like, okay, brain, I'm on to you. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to make me not change because it feels unsafe to you to change. But it's okay. I got you. We're going to do this and we're going to get healthier as a result, right? We're going to do this and we're going to achieve the body goals that we have, achieve the health goals that we have. So you sort of have to rise above your brain, be smarter than your brain, if that makes sense, and understand that your brain is trying to not have you change, so it kind of wants you to be stuck. So you're going to hear all those excuses, but you're going to tell yourself, all I'm looking to do right now is establish the habit. We'll work on improving it, intensifying it, optimizing it. We'll work on all that later. Right now, your only goal is to create the habit. Once you have that habit, you can start to add to it and play with it and have fun with it from there. Hi, Eileen. Thanks for watching. So if your only goal right now is to create that workout routine as being a habit, then all you have to do is show up for yourself in some way every single day, no matter what. So you need to look at your day, right? So you can do this like the night before. I like to sometimes do it for a week in advance. So one day over the weekend, I'll sort of look at it for the week ahead. When can I work out? Where am I going to work out? How is it going to go? My husband works a lot outside of the home and he travels a lot for work. So when I can get to the gym, it's awesome. It's a treat. I love it. When I can't get to the gym, I'll still do something at home. So whatever that looks like for you in your schedule. How can you work out from home? Work out early, work out late, whatever is going to work for you in your schedule, but plan it out in advance. And make sure that it's doable and have sort of like another option. So if your first option was to take a class, let's just say at the gym in the morning, that's an hour long. Well, what if that class gets canceled that day? What if somebody's sick and you can't go? What if, child care falls through or whatever? Are you just going to say now you're not going to work out at all? Or can you at least do something? Can you tell yourself you'll do 60 seconds of exercise before you go to sleep at any point? Most of us, yes, of course, right? We can do 60 seconds, squats, lunges, marching in place, up and down the stairs, sit-ups, jumping jacks, weights, whatever, you name it. If you can move your body for 60 seconds, what that does it transform your body? Not really, right? 60 seconds, if that's all you did every day, you would not notice a huge change in your body. Sure, it's better than nothing as far as strength and stamina, but it's not obviously going to give you a huge transformation. But what it does do is it gives you a huge transformation in your mind, because you become a person who works out consistently. You go from that, like, I'm not a person who works out, to I am a person that works out mentality. That self-identity is so important when establishing a habit, because our brain wants us to be in connection to who we think we are. So if you think that you're somebody who works out consistently, then you're going to end up looking for opportunities to work out. You're going to start flipping things. Instead of seeing excuses, you're going to actually start to see opportunities for fitting these things in. This takes time. It's not going to be immediate, but it's once you've established that habit, and it's as you start to change your self-identity, as going from a person like, how many times do we say, I'm not a fit person, I'm not an athlete, I'm not a runner, I'm not a weightlifter. We talk all the time about all the things that we aren't, but if we want, and if you don't want to do those things, fine, right? But if there's any of these things that you actually do want to become, I'm strong, I'm an athlete, I'm a person who works out all the time, I'm a person who takes care of myself. If you want to be that person, you have to start with having that consistency so that you can build the habit, you can start to prove to yourself that you are that person, and then you actually start to show up in your life as if you are that person, because you are, right? Because you already believe you're a person that doesn't skip your workouts. So if your workout was supposed to be an hour, you didn't do it, but you still did the 60 seconds, guess what? You're still a person that didn't skip workouts, because you still got it in today, something. It's just a matter of being something. And then the next day, it becomes that much easier to do whatever version of your workout, because you're not off the bandwagon, so to speak, right? So the last part is that it's a reward and you want it to be satisfying. So the awesome thing about exercise, and again, this works for anything, but I'm just speaking to exercise because it's the habit that most people tell me that they want to start. But a lot of these things have sort of internal rewards just baked in. So for example, exercise, our endorphins go up and we get that high. Some people call it a runner's high, but you don't have to run to get that. But pain relief is improved with exercise. Our feel-good hormones are up. We sleep better. There's a lot that goes into it that we just get this internal reward. Our confidence goes up, right? Because we stuck to our word. But, and I will be honest, in the very beginning, when you're trying to establish a workout habit, you might not notice those things. The crappy parts of exercise might be the things that you notice first. You're getting up a little earlier, maybe. It's cold outside now. You have to bundle up. You gotta drive to the gym, or you're doing it at home, and maybe your kids are interrupting your workouts, and then maybe you're sweating and you're not used to that feeling, and maybe your muscles are sore afterwards, right? So a lot of times we just notice the bad parts, so to speak, first. So what you might have to do is build in an extra reward in the beginning, once it's becoming a habit. Eventually, you'll get the reward of feeling confident, noticing your results, those endorphins, those things will come, but later on. In the beginning, do whatever you have to do to give yourself a reward. Maybe you tell yourself when you work out 10 days in a row, then you'll buy yourself a new pair of sneakers that you've been needing. Or, you'll go for a massage. It doesn't have to cost money. Go for a walk, take a bath. Things that are going to feel special, things that you don't necessarily do all the time, but you're going to give yourself some sort of a reward after you stick to X amount of days in a row. Another thing that you can do is to put like different colored marbles. Let's say you put like 90 purple marbles into a jar, like a jar that you can't see, a vase or something, and then you put 10 red marbles. And every time you work out, you draw a marble. And if you draw a purple one, you just get a pat on the back. You're amazing. You got a marble and you worked out. Good for you. But those red ones, when you pull one of those, it's like a special thing, and that's when you get one of the rewards. So this is great for people who are really trying to stretch it out and make a longer habit, but they're like, I can't think of 100 rewards to give myself. I can't reward myself every single day. But this way, over the course of, let's say, 100 days, as you're building up this habit, you're going to get 10 random surprises that you can ahead of time go through and say, here's going to be my 10 different rewards. One massage, one walk by myself, with my favorite music, one relaxing bubble bath, blah, 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 whatever. So write them all out ahead of time. And this way you can go to your list and pick something. It's going to feel like you won something each time. Hey, Roseanne, thanks for watching. So that's that, you guys. Those are the 4 parts of building a habit. And I went through each one to tell you how you can actually kind of work with that. So the 4 ways are cue, craving, activity, and reward. Those things just happen for whatever habit you're building, good or bad, serving you or not serving you. But these are how you can actually take notice of those different parts and really optimize for each one to help you establish any sort of habit. So you go through and you do the things that I just said that way, and you will absolutely be able to create whatever habit you want. The key is you're going to make it obvious. Okay, so for the cue, it's got to be obvious. It's not hidden away. It's obvious. It's there. It's scheduled. You know when it's going to happen. You have to make it appealing. Okay, if you have to meet a friend, then do that. Or if you have to, make a special playlist or order an audiobook. That was hard to say. Order an audiobook that you only get to listen to while you're working out, something like that, something that makes it feel really special when you do get to work out, okay? So you meet a friend, you have a special playlist, or you have an audiobook or something like that. So that's kind of like what makes it appealing for you to actually get out of your warm, cozy bed and go do your workout. Then it's gotta be small, easy, manageable, quick. It can't feel like a mountain that you've gotta move, because you're not gonna start that. You have to build up to that momentum, okay? It's got to feel easy. It could just be that, let's say you want to start yoga. It could be that you roll out your yoga mat, you do 2 poses, and you roll back your yoga mat, and you are done for the day. That's how you establish a habit. You have to start small before you can actually optimize it. And then the 4th part is that you have your reward. Make sure it's satisfying, okay? So you want to make sure that working out becomes satisfying, and if it's not satisfying right out of the gate, which it's not for a lot of people, then you have to build in your own reward system for yourself that's going to make you feel like, pat yourself on the back. I did it. I feel good about this whole thing, okay? Results don't show up right away. Muscle definition doesn't come overnight. Weight doesn't just fall off your body right away. Of course, there's other things besides working out too. You need to focus on nutrition if weight loss is a thing. But whatever result that you're looking for, it doesn't happen immediately. These are slow things that happen. So how do we get to the point where we have a habit and we don't lose our interest because we're not noticing the results right away? And this is the way that you do it. Make it obvious, make it appealing, make it easy and quick so it's sustainable, and make it satisfying, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want more content that you're not seeing on my page, I do a lot more inside my Facebook group. It's a free group. It's called Healthy, Fit, and Strong with Tara Allen Health. I'm going to post a link in the comments. If you are a nice person and you're interested in more tips and resources and all free stuff that I post in there, you can request to join, and we'd love to see you there. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.